Defenses in crimes involving domestic violence. One of the calls we get in our office a lot is, hey, what is the best defense for a crime that involves domestic violence? Now remember, in Indiana, there's no such thing as a domestic violence charge. Domestic violence itself is an umbrella, incorporates a bunch of charges, most typically domestic battery or domestic battery if there's kids involved or there are kids in the room. That's where it kind of elevates to a felony 6. But one of the common questions is, hey, what is the best defense? That's a loaded question because each case is different. So there's not a one-size-fits-all model for domestic battery cases or invasion of privacy cases or anything incorporated under the domestic violence umbrella. Each one's going to be case-by-case specific. Now, one of the benefits afforded to these types of cases is a lot of time comes down to credibility. You have a he said, she said situation. Oftentimes it's in a very heated time where partners will go at it or something to that effect. But oftentimes there's not a police officer to witness anything. Police officers come in after the fact and they try to gather evidence. They try to gather statements and then they try to just put together what they believe happened, turn that over to the prosecutor. Prosecutor files charges against whichever party they believe that they can actually prove a case against. So defenses are very common in crimes involving domestic violence. For example, was it self-defense? Did someone come after you with a knife, a gun? They try to punch you? They try to start beating up on you? What is your reaction in that point? Hey, you push them to the side. Just get away from me. Technically, that is domestic battery or battery, depending on who the person is to you. But hey, go away. That's a battery. But is it justifiable? If they're coming at you and they're about to punch you, if they're coming at you with a knife, they're about to stab you, of course, this is reasonable. So in that instance, you have self-defense. But on the flip side, there are other times where it just flat out never happened. What the complaining witness is talking about is false. It did not happen, or it did not happen that way. And this is where it comes down to the he said, she said situation, right? Who's going to be more credible in front of a jury? So you got that as well. But another one that you could be looking at, and a third defense, is alibi. We've seen times in the past where you have domestic partners, they're going through a bad breakup. One party wants to get back at another party, so they'll call the cops. They'll say, hey, this has happened. This is what happened. And then all of a sudden, that's not at all what happened because the defendant in this situation is completely somewhere else. And then you can establish an alibi defense. Defenses are very common in domestic battery or crimes involving domestic violence because it does come down to a credibility situation. Who is the jury? Who is the judge going to believe more? Is it going to be person A or person B? So with these types of cases, it's very important to get an attorney on your side who can evaluate the case properly, make sure that they get all the evidence and the statements from all the people involved, including the complaining witness, including the police officer, and question them against their investigation. Did you talk to all the parties? Were there other people? There's a lot that goes into crimes that involve domestic violence under that umbrella. If you find yourself in that situation, you cannot go into that fight unarmed. You need to have an experienced attorney on your side. If you find yourself in one of those situations or someone you love or know, give us a call at the Marc Lopez Law Firm, 317-632-3642. And remember, always plead the fifth.